Dr. Delay with another random baseball game. Today's random baseball game isn't so random as we have some giant subscribers as always. Just realized this mic is backwards. As the Giants take on the Tigers in game two. It is my understanding that the Tigers actually won yesterday 3-1. So can the Giants tie the series? Well, I guess we'll find out together right here on Dr. Delay. And again, if you like what you see, folks, hit that subscribe button. It definitely helps the channel a lot. As I do a bunch of random games, hopefully you like this type of content. Jack Flaherty is going to be the starting pitcher for the Tigers. 2-6 record, which is kind of crazy to think about when you think of the Tigers. I mean, they have a 35-20 record, ERA of 4.39. As the Giants and Tigers get underway, and that first pitch is in there for a called strike. 0-1 count. Yastrzemski batting .256. 5 home runs, 17 RBIs on the year. That's going to be outside ball one. 1-1 count as there's a squirrel on the field. There is a little squirrel on the field. Here's the 1-1. That's going to be outside for strike two. Squirrel is on the warning track. Just running around. For his sake, I hope there's no ball hitting his direction for the squirrel. Here is the 1-2. That's in the dirt. Ball two, as it was, I think it found a way. Look at that. It's climbing the fence. It's going to get in the fence. Wow, look at that. The squirrel is in the opposing bullpen, the Giants bullpen. 2-2 count here to Yastrzemski. And that's going to be fouled back. 2-2 count here for Yastrzemski. Again, man, .256 on the year. OPS of 767. 2-2 count. Here's the pitch. That's outside ball three. Battle of teams that are, kind of flying under the radar. I don't know if anyone expected these guys to be as dominant as they've been, but, I'm excited to see how this will go. Here's the 3-2 as Yastrzemski rips this to right, and that's going to drop in front of the right fielder for a base hit. Carpenter throws it back in there, so Yastrzemski gets on with a leadoff single here in the top of the first. So that's going to bring up Ramos at the ladies' batting .281, OPS of 817. Here is the first pitch. That's away. Ball one. A 1-0 count. 9 home runs and 27 RBIs for Ramos. Here's the 1-0, and that one's going to be fouled back. 1-1 count. Runner on first. No outs here in the top of the first as we're just now getting underway. San Francisco and Detroit. 1-1 count. Here's the pitch. That's going to be chopped back. Foul. 1-2 count here for Ramos. Flaherty sets and delivers. That's inside ball two. 2-2 count. Flaherty stepping off briefly. Flaherty sets, looks over at first, pickoff attempt, but Yastrzemski is back safe and sound. Why RFI? I'm not quite sure what that means. That may be some lingo for one of these teams, but I would not know. John Jones, thank you for stopping by, of course. Appreciate you. 2-2 count. Flaherty about to get rocked. Okay, John, very excited. Seems to be a Giants fan, if I had to guess, or just a Tigers hater, not too sure. Here is the 2-2 to Ramos, and that swung on a miss. He struck him out. So one away here for the Giants, and that's going to bring up Wilmer Flores, batting .259, OPS of .761. Run first inning. Well, we shall see. We shall see. I guess, I am covering the Giants because I do have some Giants fans that are subscribed, so I have done some Giants games in the past. Here is the first pitch. That swung on a miss, strike one. 0-1 count. Flores batting .259, OPS of .761. 10 home runs on the year and 44 RBIs. Here's the 0-1. That's outside, ball one. Hopefully I earned that subscription, John. If you're not already subscribed, if you are, I appreciate you. As always, 1-1 count. Flaherty looking over at first and delivers. That's going to be taken for a called strike. 1-2 count. Flaherty sets and delivers. That's inside, ball two. Giants coming in here with a 31-23 record. Tigers still among the MLB elite, of course, 35-20. I think they have kind of settled down a little bit. Here's the 2-2. That's away, ball three. So the count is full, 3-2. Runner on first. One out here in the top of the first. Flores is going to back out just for a sec. Big pitch coming up. Three-two count. Flaherty delivers, and this one's going to be hit to left. That one is at the warning track, and it is. Oh, it's caught at the wall. Yastrzemski will have to retreat. Just missed a home run. Oh, man, would have opened it up the scoring here, 2-0. Good contact, good everything. Just missed it. May have just robbed him of a homer. That's not exactly the biggest ball in left field. He just kind of had to reach up, as that first pitch to Lee is going to be inside, ball one. One out count to Jung-Hoo Lee, batting .285, 6 homers and 31 RBIs on the year. And this one is fouled back. LPS of .789. 1-1 count. Here's the pitch. That's inside, ball two. Lee thinks it hit him. Two and 1 count. Lee's already walking to first. Now Lee's confused because so the umpire. Wow, interesting. So Lee started walking to first. It did look like it was close. The umpire didn't say anything. Let's look at the replay here, or I can look at it. I think I may have caught the back foot. Yep. It did hit him. But, okay, so the Giants are indeed challenging. There are 2 outs in the inning, so you'd hopefully have Chapman come up here. Was Darrell Evans better on San Francisco or Detroit? Got our first question of the day from the one and only Sean, as we're going to look at Darrell Evans, player for both teams. So it's a perfect question for both fan bases here. Is look at Darrell's. Okay, wait, timeout here. Okay, they didn't tell me anything. Hold on, one sec. We'll keep this right here. 0-1 count to Chapman. I didn't hear a single freaking call. How's it going, John? Again, welcome back. Just saw you just a few seconds ago. Chapman 218, 9 home runs, 25 RBIs. That's outside ball 1. I'll actually leave it. I'm sure that's more appealing to you guys, but I will answer that question, Sean, as soon as possible. 1-1 count here. Runners on first and second. 2 outs. Chapman sends this one right, but also foul. So 1-2 count. It's Flaherty looking to get out of this. One and two count as they're just now getting back into their positions in the batter's box and on the mound. Flaherty sets and delivers. This one's hit left, but foul. If you just are tuning in, Flores was robbed of a home run already in this one. So would have been 2-0, but the ball was just low enough to where the left fielder could make the catch. 1-2 count. Flaherty sets and delivers. Called strike 3 on the outer part of the plate. That was pretty close. Chapman's going to let him know about it. So we head to the bottom of the first. Your score 0-0. Darrell Evans' life as a Giant looks to be pretty decent. OPS in the 700s. Got on base pretty good. Decent power. 17, 20 home runs consistently. Now, as a Tiger, he reached highs of 40 home runs. So it looks like he got better as he approached his 30s. May have been steroids. I don't really know. But that's pretty tough. His peak was with the Tigers. Of course, we can do this trusty thing where we can compare the stats. Look pretty close. Had just 1 home run shy as a Tiger with 1,400 less at bats. That is interesting. I would say his peak was as a Tiger, but as a player, I'm going to go Giants. As the cat has snuck in here. That's great. I'm going to say Giants, but peak was probably Detroit. That is my final answer, locking it in. And if you see a cat moving, I do apologize. Little cat is going to be trouble. And if you like what you see, folks, hit that subscribe button. Definitely helps the channel out a lot. I do appreciate it. Actually doing my first back-to-back game tonight. And after thinking about it, probably not the greatest decision, honestly, for tonight, because I am calling a game tomorrow in real life. But, we're just going to try to not put as much emphasis on the broadcasting voice tonight, not try to use it, as I'm going to be talking for probably about 6 hours. 6 hours. So Carpenter will be leading off, batting .280, OPS of .813. Webb is 5-4 with a 2.67 ERA. Oh my goodness, why is this cat being loud? I may have to remove her. Here is the first pitch. That's going to be in there for a called strike. 0-1 count. Carpenter with 10 home runs and 22 RBIs. That's going to be outside ball 1. One and one count. That's swung on a miss. Strike 2. 1-2 count here to Carpenter. Here's the 1-2. Chopper to first. He's going to hold off Webb as he walks it to the bag for out number 1. And that's going to bring up Gleyber Torres batting .276, OPS of 806 as he faces Webb. Here's the first pitch. That's going to be in there, called strike. 0-1 count. Here's the pitch. That's going to be outside, ball 1. On a 1 count to Torres. Here's the pitch. That's going to be outside, ball 2. Notice that the telecast is a little, pretty far behind the game day, so I don't know if I need to switch it here. Probably going to have to see what happens here. So I'm switching. Here's the 2-1. That's going to be in there, called strike. 2-2 count. Here's the 2-2 to Torres. That's going to be just low, ball 3. Looking over because this cat is just being noisy. Here's the 3-2. That's going to be singled through the first and second baseman. So it looks like he's going to get on with the 1-out single here in the bottom of the first. Pardon me, I got to open this. There we go. Yeah, you can get out of here if you want. You know you can. Freaking cat. All right, that's going to bring up Keith, batting .230, OPS of 709. Which team will collapse first this year? It seems both are playing over their head. Ooh, that's a good question. That's going to be outside, ball 1. If I had to really pick, and I'm really sorry, Sean, I'd have to say the Giants because of the NL West. Just the NL in general. That's going to be swung and missed, strike 1. Didn't really get to look at the standings beforehand. I mean, the Giants 6-4 in their last 10. They're still hanging in there. Run differential of 42. Tigers, run differential of 81, as this one's going to be sent to shallow left field. Though Chapman's on the run and just is unable to get it, as that's going to land foul. No, you're a Giants fan, Sean. Yeah, Sean. But I don't know. I think I'd have to pick the Giants. Well, I hope I'm wrong. Yeah, Giants are a classy organization. I like them. Classic. And when I was in high school, they were winning World Series, 2010, 2012, and 2014. So they were very dominant when I was in high school. As that swung on a miss, he struck him out. So 2 away here for the Tigers, and that's going to bring up Green. And, of course, the AL Central, we kind of didn't really mention it. Just, they're okay. They got some competition, but I don't know. I guess I don't really expect much from them as much as I do the rest of the NL West, as that's going to be low for ball 1. Did check his swing. But that's just a casual's point of view, so don't feel like I'm, a guy that's going to be right or whatnot. I don't live and breathe the game of MLB. I do like it. Just not a diehard, as here's the 1-0. That's swung on a missed, strike 1. Green batting .270 on the year, OPS of 824. Here's the 1-1. That's inside, ball 2. That is sad, but they probably can't hang with Freeman's Dodger dance. Yeah, okay, well, I hope they are... I hope I'm wrong, and I hope they end that dance, as this one's going to be hit to right, and that's going to get down. And Yastrzemski took a bad angle to the ball. Lee's going to get it, and it looks like Torres is rounding third, heading for home, and he's going to score. Yastrzemski, I'm assuming, thought he could get there in time, couldn't quite get the angle right, gets past him, and Torres takes advantage and opens up the scoring for the Tigers as they lead 1-0 here in the bottom of the first. Yastrzemski, unfortunate. Is Wade batting over 200 yet? Ooh, good question. That's going to be outside ball one at Torkelson. Wade is not. He is batting 161. Here's the 1-0. That's going to be in there, called strike. Yastrzemski apparently is the fourth best reaction time in MLB, but just a bad jump there. That one's going to be swung and missed, strike two. One and two count. Here's the pitch. That's outside ball two. Looks like you're going to get a new ball as that one hit the dirt. Green hit that one 114 miles per hour. Definitely hit that one pretty well. I guess that's probably why Yastrzemski wasn't used to the speed out there whenever the ball kept skipping. As that swung on a missed, he struck him out. So the Tigers able to score one as we get to the top of the second. Your score, Tigers 1, Giants 0 on today's random game of Dr. Delay. And again, if you like what you see, folks, hit that subscribe button. Definitely helps the channel out a lot. And I will be doing another game tonight as well, back-to-back. First time back-to-back doubleheaders. Not the first time I've done two streams in one day, but the first time just going one game to the next, as I'll be doing Pirates and Diamondbacks tonight. Obviously, if you're Giants and Tigers fans, you don't have to go. I'm just saying, hey, you know, I do other games as well. Not just Pirates games, and a little bit of a preview of what's going to happen in the NFL season and college football. So I'll be doing those as well. So if you like football, if you're a 49ers fan or a Lions fan, definitely consider subscribing to this channel. Do appreciate it. And feel free to chat in the comments or comment in the chat. I do read all comments. You are very welcome, Sean. Sean's obvious, if you've been here, Sean's definitely been pushing for it. So I'm definitely granting him the wish today. As again, I do need to kind of start getting that voice prepared for the double headers in football. So it's a good thing, really. I need to get the voice used to it. It's going to be pretty fun, I think. Adames, Schmidt, and Bailey due up for the Giants. Hoping one day I'll be able to listen to John Miller, but I have yet to find him, unfortunately. I don't know why. I just can't. But I can't seem to find John Miller. All right, here is Adames, batting .205, OPS of 617. Here's the pitch. That's going to be low for strike one. Adames doesn't like that. Here is the 1-0. That's going to be outside ball one. One on one count to Adames. And that's going to be hit to center, and that's going to drop for a base hit. So Adames with the leadoff single here in the top of the second. That's going to bring up Schmidt, batting .233, OPS of 676. Schmidt finally digging in. Runner on first. Here's the pitch. That's outside ball one. Tigers averaging 5.11 runs a game. Giants 4.41. Giants, though, only averaging as a team 231, as this one's going to be hit to left. Under it is Green, who makes the catch for out number one. My kids want to know who's the better hitter, Barry Bonds or Gary Carter. I mean, I can do the statistical process if you'd like. But, Sean, you have to tell your kids that it was probably Barry. Actually, you can leave out the probably. This is going to bring up Bailey. Here's the first pitch. That's going to be outside ball one. But here you go. Here you go, kids. Let's go ahead and do Gary Walker. Actually, I don't know. Gary Carter. I said Walker. That's going to be in there for a call strike. I was thinking of Jordan Walker for some reason. Gary Carter. Not too bad, not a bad player. Solid in his prime, I would say. Pretty decent. That's going to be ripped to first. There's one. And it looks like Adames is caught in a rundown because they tagged first, and they put the tag on him for a double play. Unfortunate stuff there for the Giants as we head to the bottom of the second. Your score 1-0. All right, but yeah, as you see here for Mr. Carter, not a bad hitter. 324 home runs, OPS of 776. It's not terrible. His peak, not too bad. 32 home runs, 100 RBIs in a year. 27, 106. But there's levels to this, Gary's a solid player in MLB history, right? Great career. And then there's possibly the greatest individual career of all time. You can't compare. 73 home runs in just, when he was 36. 762 all time. On base percentage all time of 444. 1 year, 60% of the time, 61% of the time, can round up, he got on base. I mean, that's just incredible. I mean, that's something you just don't see every day. Won MVP 4 straight times from the age of 36 to 39. Won 3 more times earlier in his career, 2 as a Pirate. Him leaving the Pirates may have caused them to decline as well. He literally changed the fate of a historical franchise. I mean, you just can't compare, kiddos. You just really can't. Forced. I mean, he was pretty much, he didn't retire under his will either. I mean, you look at his last season OPS of 1,045, you're thinking, well, he probably could have kept going. Well, yeah, he definitely thought that as well. Fortunately, Barry is the greatest player to ever live. You look at those statistics. You compare him to other all-time greats, it's hard to argue it. It really is. He was just a monster. All right, so due up here for the Tigers, Perez, Dingler, and Sweeney. Showing the replays here. Here's the first pitch, and that's going to be inside ball one. Already finished 1 bottle of water. Here is the first pitch. That's inside ball 2. I didn't drink any water today. I'm an idiot. So here I am. Going to gain like 3 pounds of water. Here's the pitch. That's going to be hit to right. Yastrzemski on the run, and it is gone. Perez with the solo shot to begin the bottom of the second. Wenceel Perez. First home run of the year. Believe that was his. What? I mean, he's batting 1,000, so I'm assuming that was his first at bat of the year. What a way to start it off in 2025, leading off with the home run last year. Batted .242, OPS of 683, 9 home runs. So the Tigers up 2-0 on a I would say, again, battle of like the teams that you really didn't think about at the start of the year. That one's going to be outside ball one, but, you know, they're performing very well. Tigers. Thank you for doing the extra research in spite of knowing the answer anyway. Of course, you know, just in case they were there watching, like, well, you know, I want to see the statistics. 2-0 count. Here is the 2-0. That's going to be chopped foul. Two-one count to Dingler. So showing the replay of this home run. Sent it over the right field wall. Here's the pitch. That's in there for a called strike. 2-2 count. Tigers already up 2-0. Here's the 2-2. That's away for ball 3. Webb hasn't been too bad this year, but the Tigers making him pay. 2.88 ERA as of now. That is live. Ball right field. Yastrzemski runs and makes the catch for out number 1. The Giants apparently were favored today over under on runs scored 7.5. So I know there's a lot of, you know, betting going on. Here is Sweeney as this one's going to be hit to right, and that is going to drop for a base hit. So Sweeney gets on as the Tigers look to continue this, as that'll bring up Javi Baez, batting .286, OPS of 789. The kids want to know if you think Nolan Ryan's no-hitter record will ever be broken. To be honest, I don't know what that record is. I don't know if I can look that up. Can I look that up? I mean, I could look it up on... I don't know if I can look it up here. I don't think I can on here, but I'll... Let me just look up no-hitter record. 7, and the next is Sandy Koufax with 4. Well, unfortunately, I mean, like, even without looking that up, I was already leaning no because of the fact that they pull pitchers. They pull pitchers so early now, so it's just going to be so rare. Here's the 1-1. That's going to be low ball too. So unfortunately, no. Just with the way pitching is nowadays, pulling them after 5-6 innings, which is very infuriating. Here's the 2-1. That's going to be swung on and missed. Strike 2. So, yeah, my vote is no. Sadly, no. And I definitely think the talent is there. I mean, I really do. I just, that's just how, unfortunately, analytics have changed the game, as that one's going to be fouled off. So the count remains at 2-2. I mean, I'm pretty sure Paul Skeens, if he were allowed to go 9 innings, quite a bit. I mean, I think he definitely has the stuff. Here's the 2-2. That swung on and missed. Ball in the dirt. He struck him out. That's going to bring up Carpenter. 0 for 1 so far in this one, batting .279, OPS of 808. Runner on first. Webb looks over at him. And delivers. That's going to be chopped to first, but that one was just foul. Oh, 1 count. Webb already at 40 pitches, so something to keep an eye on. Here's the 0-1. That's going to be fouled back. Strike 2. Rob Deere. Better on the Tigers or the Brewers? Got another statistical check brought to you by Dr. DeLay. Here's the 0-2. That's going to be low, ball 1. Rob Deere. Let's see. Looks like they were, well, looks like he had his best season as a Tiger. Also play a little bit with the Giants, too. Here's the 1-2. That's going to be low. Ball 2. Of course, Giants didn't really play much. I'm going to go with slightly Detroit. The peak, I think, was pretty good. I mean, you look at the WAR here, 6.0 in 3 years versus 6.9 in 5. I'm going to give the slight advantage to the Detroit version. As here's the 2-2, and that's going to be sent foul. I'm going to go Detroit slightly. Final answer. 2-2 count for Carpenter. He's 0 for 1 so far in this one. Doing my first back-to-back doubleheader, so if you're just a straight-up, baseball fan, feel free to tune in for tonight's game. Here's the 2-2, and that one's going to be hit, foul. Sweeney was on the run there, but looks like they're actually going to rule catcher's interference. So he reaches on catcher's interference as he did hit the glove. All right, that's going to bring up Torres. He's 1 for 1. Did come across the score on the green hit in the first. 281, OPS of 812. That's going to be inside, ball 1. See the kind of player you'd want hit on the Pirates, batting under 200, but 25, 30 home runs. I mean, the 2025 Pirates, yes, that swung on a miss, fouled back, actually. Because no one can hit for power anyway, except for Cruz. Ideally, no, I would not want that. I would much rather prefer, a hitter above 250. I don't like today's game, but, the Pirates just could use anybody now, as that's a swing and a miss, strike 2. No, I do miss the days when the Pirates could somewhat hit, and even then, that's going to be swung and a miss. He struck him out. So we head to the top of the third. Your score, Tigers 2, Giants 0. As go ahead and leave up what's happening across the nation for you guys. Like, even when the Pirates weren't that great in the 2000s, I still feel like the offense was solid. I mean, Adam LaRoche at first, Freddie Sanchez. Jack Wilson wasn't really much of a hitter, but, whatever. Third base was always a revolving door. Jason Bay, Xavier Nady, Nate McLouth. I mean, the catcher, Ryan Doman, he could hit, couldn't field, apparently. I don't know, I feel like that was a pretty decent offense. And, of course, a few years ago, it wasn't too bad either, by a few as in a decade ago, when we went to the back-to-back playoff losses, I guess. Back-to-back-to-back. Wild card round just to lose first round. Well, we did beat the Reds the first time around, but that's felt like ages ago. So the Dodgers up over the Indians 2-0. Cardinals up on the Orioles 3-0. Phillies up on the Braves 1-0. Twins, Rays are tied 1-1. White Sox over the Mets at the moment 2-0. And then the Red Sox, Brewers are in a warm-up. Again, if you like what you see, folks, hit that subscribe button. That MLB Roundup was brought to you by Dr. Delay. That is this channel. So if you like what you see, hit the subscribe button. Jason Bay was not good on the Mets. I can tell you that right now. Jason Bay's peak was indeed in Pittsburgh. Jason Bay was not that great once he left. So the Pirates actually, well, they didn't really get much from the trade, so I can't say they won the trade either. It was probably best for both parties. He had that one good year in Boston. That probably his, well, that wasn't his best year. I need to move my face. I moved the wrong thing. What the heck? There you go. Let's move this face over. Why is this thing being stupid? All right, it's going to be in there, Fitzgerald. I'll come back to this after a sec. 0-1 count to Fitzgerald. Here is the pitch. That's going to be in there. A called strike 1-1 or 0-2 count. Pardon me. 0-2 count. Flaherty working more efficiently than Webb. That's going to be swung on and missed. A ball in the dirt. He struck him out. But yeah, no, he was not good on the Mets. Let's go back here. Looking at the Mets. Yeah, 749, 706, OPS of 533. Never hit above 12 home runs in a season. I mean, Jason Bay is a Pirate. Shoot. Pretty solid. Pretty solid, if I say so myself. Yeah. The 2000s Pirates, they were losers, but they had some players. That's going to bring up Yastrzemski. He got on in the first inning. As that's going to be outside ball one. Now I don't like that I'm over here, so I'm moving myself back. I don't know. It's probably not where it needs to go. That's going to be outside ball two. 2-0 count. Here is the 2-0. That's going to be low for strike one. Yastrzemski doesn't like the call. Here is the 2-1. That's outside ball three. 3-1 count. Flaherty delivers. That's low. Ball four. So Yastrzemski gets on, and that'll bring up Flores. Flores just missed a home run in the first. Favorite announcer, baseball. It's going to be John Miller, followed closely by the Pirates, Greg Brown. I love Greg Brown. He's very good. Unfortunately, again, he's seen 30 years of losing, so it's kind of worn him down, as that's going to be in the dirt ball one. For football, and I do think the football ones are pretty solid. I would say they're probably slightly better, but John Miller he's great. But here's the 1-0. That's going to be swung on and missed. That was, if Flores isn't up, I'm an idiot. It's Ramos. I'm sorry, guys. 0-1 count. Or he's 0 for 1 so far. 1-1 count. Ian Eagle. I like Ian Eagle. I like Kevin Harlan. And Al Michaels in his prime was really solid, as that one's going to be swung on a missed strike two. I just feel like Al Michaels is getting pretty tired whenever. It sounds like he gets tired now on the Thursday nights. I like Gus Johnson on college football. There's a lot of good announcers. Here's the 1-2. That's going to be outside ball two. But for football, I'd say Ian Eagle. It's definitely I don't know. He mixes excitement and humor. It's very clever. He's just very clever with wording and just, I don't know. I love watching a game that he calls. I just do. Here's the 2-2, and that's going to be hit to left. Looks like Green is going to find it for out number 2. So 2 away here in the top of the third. That's going to bring up Flores, who's 0 for 1 again. He's the one that just missed the home run in the first inning. Green was able to make the catch, extending his glove over the wall to rob him of a 2-run shot. Batting .258, OPS of .757. Here's the pitch. That's going to be in there, called strike. Unfortunately, I had to switch over to the Tigers broadcast. Not saying that John Miller was on the Giants one. I don't know why I can't seem to find him. It says he's on that local one that's out there in San Francisco. But they were just a whole pitch behind, as that's going to be down low, ball 1. So I don't want to try to keep. I know game day is always going to be faster. So what you see is always going to be faster than what I'm watching. But it was flat out like a pitch or 2 behind. I'm like, I can't do that. You guys wouldn't like that at all. 1-1 count here to Flores. That's going to be fouled back. Who is the better second baseman, Mark Lemke or Jose Chico Lind? Never heard of either of those guys. But that stat check will be coming up shortly, as here's the 1-2 to Flores. Here's the pitch. That swung on a miss. He struck him out. So we head to the bottom of the third inning. Your score, Tigers 2, Giants 0. Mark Lemke. Again, if you like what you see, folks, hit that subscribe button. Definitely helps the channel out a lot. More than you'll ever know. All right. So this is a Brave. May have been a good fielder, but I'm not seeing much on the batting. Let me look at the fielding if there's anything there. It wasn't that great. I mean, yeah, don't really care about fielding, to be honest with you. Not impressed looking at Mark Lemke. All right, let's look at Jose Lind. Not impressed with him either. This is probably the toughest one, actually. Jeez, wow, what a choice. And if you're just joining in, we are on commercial break. I do apologize, but gotta keep myself busy on commercials, as this is an epic battle. Who's better, Mark Lemke? You can't see that. Or Jose Lind. I mean, these statistics are just breathtaking. Mark Lemke or Jose Lind? I'm going to go with Mark Lemke. That's not that great, man. That is they'd probably be starting on the 2025 Pirates. I'll tell you that. All right, Keith is going to be due up here for the Tigers. Green and then Torkelson. Here's the first pitch to Keith, and that's going to be fouled off the catcher for strike 1. Oh, 1 count. Webb pitched 49 pitches through the first 2 innings. That's actually tying his season high. Like I said, he just didn't quite settle in there. Maybe he settles in now. Who knows? 0-1 count. Here's the pitch. That's outside, ball 1. One and 1 count. Here's the pitch. That's in there, a called strike. 1-2 count. The 1-2, and that's fouled back. Detroit 35-20. Just, again, very solid. We'll switch over to the standings real quick. Best record in the AL. Phillies have a slightly better record as this one's going to be hit to right, and that's going to get down. And Yastrzemski has trouble again. It's rolling around. He throws it in. He's running to third, and he is safe. Yastrzemski has been unfortunately struggling a little bit today in right, as that probably turned a double into a triple, just ripping it down the right field line, staying in there, and then rolling in that Little Caesars Pizza corner. That is so unfortunate. Tigers fans here know what corner I'm talking about, of course. Of course, I did say right field line, so it's in the right corner. And here's the next pitch, and that's going to be hit in the outfield. That's going to score a run. So Green pounces on the first pitch, and it's now 3-0. And that's going to bring up Torkelson, who is 0 for 1 with the strikeout, but a runner on first with nobody out. Webb can't believe it. Webb has been pretty solid this year. ERA is probably still below a 3. That's going to be outside ball 1, despite the poor performance today. 2.99, just barely hanging in there. Here's the 1-0, and that's going to be hit right, but that's going to be a souvenir. Oh, it hit a guy in the nose. Oh! It hit a guy in the nose. It bounced and kicked right into a guy's nose. I saw the guy do that, but they didn't react to it at all in the broadcast. It's not looking good for the Giants. It is not. Tigers up 3-0 in the bottom of the third, and that's going to be inside ball 2. Showing a lot of stats here. The Tigers apparently have the number 1 pitching whip. Well, there's no hitting whip, but that's going to be inside ball 3. Number 1 whip in the MLB is 1.16. 3-1 count here for Torkelson. Here's the pitch. That's going to be low and away. Strike 2. Webb looks over at first and delivers. Swing and a miss. He struck him out, so it went from a possible walk to a strikeout. As that's going to bring up Perez, who had his 2025 debut just an at-bat ago in the second inning, and he hit a home run. So if he were to not play for the rest of this year, his statistics will look pretty solid. Here's the pitch. That's going to be in there, called strike. Who is better? This is a great question. Bumgarner, Lincecum, or Kane? I'm already leaning Lincecum, but I will double check them all. So that's going to be outside ball. Of course, Matt Kane was always solid too. Never really talked about like the other two, but he was really good. It wouldn't surprise me actually if he had the best stretch. Here's the 1-1. That's going to be out. Oh, called him a strike on the outside part of the plate. 1-2 count here. Umpires kind of been all over the place for both teams. Do want to clarify, it's not just helping out the Giants. Not like, it's helping them on the scoreboard as that's chopped foul. 1-2 count as I'll go ahead and we'll look up Matt Kane first, because I feel like he's probably going to be the one that's not just in the top 2. That swung on and missed. He struck him out, so Perez sees all of his stats cut in half except for the home runs and RBIs. His batting average now falls to 500, OPS 2,500. Those are just terrible numbers. And that's going to bring up Dingler, who is 0 for 1, batting .293, OPS of 756. Runner on first, 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. Here's the pitch. That's outside for ball one. Four home runs on the year for Dingler. Here's the 1-0. That's going to be down the middle. Strike one. 1-1 count. Here is the 1-1. That swung and a missed. Strike two as extracurricular activities happen out there, I guess. Dancing around. Trying to distract the host of the, I don't know, this really isn't a show, it's just a live stream. 1-2 count. Here's the pitch. That's away for ball two. Webb already at 70 pitches here in the bottom of the third. Just kind of, it's been rough for him. Will not see 6 innings. Hopefully he can get to 5 for the Giants' sake. 2-2 count. Webb delivers. That swung and a missed. He struck him out. So the Tigers able to score in each inning. 1-1. It is 3-0 Tigers. Again, if you like what you see, folks, hit that subscribe button. Dingler at 293 with 4 homers. He would be a cleanup batter for the Giants. He'd be a cleanup batter for the Pirates. Oh, he'd love to have him. All right, Prime Kane. Wasn't too bad. Had a nice stretch here from 2009 to 2012. But I think the other two definitely had their primes. Yeah, they were a little bit better there. Bumgarner. 2013 and 2016. I'm liking those numbers. I don't know why I just clicked that. Let's just go back to Kane real quick. Yeah, I'm going to already... So Bumgarner eliminates Kane. Now for the GOAT. No, he's not the GOAT, but I liked him. Lincecum. Ooh, that's tough. I'm leaning... It's going to be Lincecum. I got to say Lincecum. It's 2 Cy Youngs, too. I don't know if Bumgarner did. No, Bumgarner didn't. No, that was Matt Cain. And, okay, we're going back to Lemke for some reason. Apparently we forgot that I searched up Madison Bumgarner already. Yeah, I'm just going to go with, it's got to be Lincecum. Lincecum with the 2 Cy Youngs. Again, if you like what you see, folks, hit that subscribe button. Definitely helps the channel out a lot. I do cover random games. It's not my first rodeo for either of these teams, as I'll go ahead and show you guys if you're like wondering. Obviously, that is what's happening now. I have done Giants in the past. I did Tigers the other day for the first time. Tigers, Cardinals. Giants here as well. And that's probably it. So this is my 3rd Giants game. Probably need to work in a little bit more, and I will try. As here's the first pitch to Lee. That's going to be swung on and missed. Strike one. Oh, 1 count. Here is the 0-1 to Lee. That's going to be a ground ball to first. Throws to the pitcher, Flaherty, who's covering the bag for out number 1. All right, that's going to bring up Chapman, who's 0 for 1 with the strikeout. As they have an interview with the fan visiting his 52nd ballpark all time. He completes that 30th ballpark currently. Like active ballparks today. Giants fans, that's going to be outside ball 1. One 0 count. Here's the pitch. That's going to be fouled back. 1-1 count. 1-1 count here to Chapman. Flaherty delivers, and this one hits to left. Green is under it at the warning track and makes the catch for out number 2. So the Giants just missing on some of these deep fly balls. Of course, Flores had one robbed in the first inning, and Chapman just a few, probably 10 more feet would have done it. That's going to bring up Adames. 1 for 1, batting .209, OPS of 623. Here is the first pitch. That's going to be in there for a called strike. Oh, 1 count. Here's the pitch. That's low from ball 1. Kathy, I'm from Cleveland. Do you do Indians games? I actually have yet to do an Indians game, but tell you what, I mean, I pretty much take requests. So if you are pretty active and you constantly remind me, hey, do this game. I don't think I have done one, but that was a Pirates game. I don't know if that really counts. But, I mean, I can try. I can work you in somewhere. Unfortunately, and this is going to sound terrible. It's going to sound like I can't, but I'll be working all day tomorrow, literally from 10 a.m. to probably midnight tomorrow. And then Thursday, I work in the evening, and then there's no baseball games early Thursday. But I will do what I can. That's going to be swung on a missed. He struck him out. So we head to the bottom of the 4th. Your score 3-0. So today's game, as you see, I'm doing Giants. Like, well, I mean, I'm a Pirates fan. Shot here, constantly in the chat. You know, definitely engaging. So I try to work in. You know, because of him, I'm doing more Giants games than I normally would. And then I have a Diamondbacks fan who's constantly in the chat. And so I think I've worked in quite a bit of Diamondbacks games as well. For some reason, the NL West seems to be the other division, I guess I call. There's the Diamondbacks obviously doing Pirates, Diamondbacks tonight, Diamondbacks Giants, Diamondbacks Mets. I have a few Mets fans as well, though they haven't shown up lately, and that's kind of why I haven't really done them in a while. But yeah, I mean, I'll do my best, you know. I'll try to get one. I couldn't tell you when, but you know, within a week, I'll do what I can. I will do what I can, Kathy, and hopefully you're not a Browns fan, but if you are, well, hey, if you like football, we'll definitely do Steelers Browns, and I will be doing football games, at least two Sunday games, during the NFL season. So, you know, if you are a Browns fan or just a fan of the NFL in general, I will be doing the Steelers game most likely, and then another game. Of course, the Steelers aren't playing, then that opens up for 2 games. So I am interested to see how the Browns quarterback situation, what's going to happen there. So I'd love to see if it's going to be Kenny. Obviously, former Steeler there. Flacco, I like seeing Flacco. But, yeah, I'll do what I can, Kathy, okay? I promise I will. I like that you call them Indians, too. It's just, it's also pretty cool. But, yeah, if you like what you see, hopefully I earn that subscription. Every subscriber definitely helps the channel out a lot. And if you are a college football fan as well, I'll be doing that once week 0 hits pretty much. I'll be doing trying to do 2 to 3 games on Saturdays, and then once baseball season ends in September, it'll be full-time football from then on. Here is Sweeney. He is 1 for 1, and that's going to be in there, a called strike. 0-1 count. Here's the pitch. That's going to be in there, a called strike. Trying to think. So Friday, there's an early game Friday. Let's see. Well, thank you, Kathy. I appreciate it. Let me look up to see what's going on. Friday, I don't think I'm working until the evening. Here's the 0-2. So my work schedule's really random, believe it or not. It's the most random thing. Like tomorrow, all day. Will not be able, unfortunately. Thursday, sadly, work in the evening. Here's the 1-2. That's going to be hit, and that's going to be fouled. But I do appreciate you stopping by, even though, hey, it's not a Indians game, Guardians game. You know, you're still appreciate you, of course. Do what I can. I'll do what I can here. Let's see. Okay. I'll try to work you in. I'll try to work an Indians game in very soon. That's going to be swung on and missed. He struck him out. So one down here for the Tigers. In steps in Baez, batting .284, OPS of .784. Here is the first pitch. That's going to be outside ball one. I'm going to have to get a list of all the MLB teams and write. That's going to be chopped to short. I sounded really country there, my bad. Throws to first for out number 2. I do live in Texas, and Texas has unfortunately taken over this former Pennsylvanian's voice. Unfortunate stuff. I'm going to have to write down, who's with whose team, which I know, obviously, Sean, big Giants fan. Then there's Nick, the D-backs fan, and a few others. There's Justin. He's the Cubs fan. That's going to be outside ball one. There's Luis, the Padres and Mariners fan. Then there's Livewell. He's also a Mariners fan. Kathy, the Indians fan. That's going to be low. Ball two. And there's more. Just at the moment, I can't think. A lot of Pirates fans, of course, since I've been doing mostly Pirates games. Here's the 2-0. That's going to be swung on and missed. Strike one. 2-1 count. Carpenter's 0 for 1, and he also reached on a fielding mishap while hitting the glove. That's going to be a swung on and miss. Strike two. Catcher's interference. 2-2 count. Webb looking for a quick inning, and he gets one. He struck him out. So we head to the top of the fifth. Your score, Tigers 3, Giants 0. As we look at what's happening across the major leagues, the Dodgers currently up over the Indians 4-3. I don't know if you're still here. Cardinals up over the Orioles 3-1. Phillies over the Braves 1-0. Twins, Rays, that's 2-0. And the Mets over the White Sox 4-2. And, of course, 0-0 as these games just now getting underway. And, again, if you're strictly a baseball fan, well, I'll be doing another game tonight. Probably, in hindsight, honestly, not a great decision to do it tonight, as I'll be calling a game all over the radio tomorrow. But I'm going to have to save the voice. But, we're just going to do it anyway. We're doing the doubleheader. I said I was. That's on me. But I really need to get it done. I need to start warming up this voice for football season, as I'm going to be doing this 6+ hours a day. Well, on Saturdays and Sundays, obviously. But, yeah, so we'll see how that goes for tonight as Pirates and Diamondbacks. Pirates, obviously, pathetic as always. Due up here for the Giants is going to be Schmidt, Bailey, and Fitzgerald. And as always, don't hesitate to comment or chat. I do read all comments, of course. I'm not the most popular guy on YouTube. Love to say I have thousands of subscribers. Heck, even millions. But no, not quite. So that chat's not exactly going to be moving fast. If you want to chat about anything, baseball-related, football-related, I'm more of a football guy myself. But Sean keeps me on my toes with baseball history, and I do love it. It's pretty neat. I'm learning little things about it myself. So Sean's really helping me. I do appreciate him. Always active and keeping me on my toes. As Schmidt is going to dig in. Batting .226, OPS of .656. And that's going to be in there, a called strike. 0-1 count. Here is the pitch. That swung on a missed, strike 2. Flaherty has been really solid so far in this one, making this Giants lineup look like the team from Pittsburgh. Of course, Sean, hey, I'll recognize greatness, man. I do. And this cat, again, in here. What are you doing? Here is the 0-2. That's in the dirt, ball 1. Mickey is young little female cat. She is, we have yet to get her, fixed or anything. So she's in heat, as that one is going to be outside ball 2. So she has been something the last few days. It's unfortunate. You guys probably didn't need to know that, but it's just something I'm calling it. I'm calling the game, calling what's going on around here. Here's the 2-2. That's going to be popped up. I know there's another term for the female cats. Anyway, 2-2 count here to Schmidt. Flaherty is going to ask for another ball. All right, 2-2. Flaherty delivers, and this one hit shallow left in foul territory. Looks like the third baseman moves and makes the catch for out number 1. Baez with the catch. I didn't realize he played third. I know him as a second baseman. That's going to bring up Bailey, who is 0 for 1, batting 170, OPS of 485. Flaherty delivers. That's going to be low for strike 1. Oh my gosh, this umpire. Not a great performance tonight. Of course, again, I am relying on the strike zone on the TV, but yeah, that might not be accurate, but I'm just saying, based off that, it's been pretty bad. 0-1 count. Flaherty delivers the 0-1. That's going to be in there for strike 2. Oh, 2 count. Here's the pitch. That's going to be chopped foul. 0-2 count for Bailey. Apparently there was something going on yesterday between this guy at the third base umpire and one of the players, because they're talking about something happened yesterday where he crossed the line or something. Here is the 0-2. That's popped again, foul. So we'll do this again. 0-2. All right, let's look at the replay here. There's a pitch to Baez. Baez didn't like the call. He starts talking to the umpire about it. And Baez is walking away, and he throws him out. Man, that was yesterday. Not happening now. I'm just saying, that's crazy. I hate that. Here's the 0-2. That's going to be foul back. When the player is walking away, and then you throw him out, like, what? Like, come on. He's walking away, trying to de-escalate, just he's done. All right, here is, hold on. Flaherty sets for the 0-2 and delivers. That's going to be outside ball 1. Who is a better hitter on the San Francisco Giants, Matt Williams or Will Clark? All right, next question. Again, brought to you by Dr. DeLay, no sponsor. Here's the 1-2. That's in the dirt, ball 2. Will Clark. Again, I'll still call the game. Not like I'm going to lose sight of what's happening. 2-2 count. Giants hitter. Strictly Giants. Here's the 2-2 in the dirt, ball 3. Yeah, that ump wasn't good. Oh, well, yeah, I kind of saw it there. That was pretty bad. I hate when umpires do that, man. Tell you what, this is Clark. Not too bad in his peak. Here's the 3-2 to Bailey. Outside, ball 4. No! They called him strike 3! Can I get the game day up? Oh, I just missed it. That was a few feet outside. The batter put his bat on the ground. He was ready to go. This umpiring crew, that is a good 5-6 inches outside. Oh, my goodness. Bailey called out on strikes on a questionable call. Here's the first pitch to Fitzgerald, and that's going to be fouled back. So Clark's prime, not too bad. Who was the other guy here? The screen went away. I hate that. I need a new cord. Matt Williams. There's a lot of Matt Williams, so I'm just going to click one until I see a giant. Here's the 0-1 to Fitzgerald. That's going to be in there, strike 2. All right, I think I got the one. Matt Williams. Oh, it's got to be Matt Williams. Matt Williams hit 40. Peak Matt Williams, pretty solid. Well, hold on a second. That's going to be inside ball 1. Hold on a second. Looking at the WAR, it has 35.8 for San Francisco. And Matt Williams' WAR, 34. That's pretty close. Here's the 1-2 to Fitzgerald. That's going to be chopped foul. That's close. That's very close. Gotta go back. Ooh. I like the high batting average, but the new way of judging players is OPS. I don't know. No, well, I mean, OPS is lower too. But his peak, consistency, you got to value consistency. As that's swung on a miss. Fitzgerald strikes out there. Final answer, Will Clark, due to the consistency. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Your score, Tigers 3, Giants nothing. Will there be an argument and ejection? No, he did walk back silently. They are making up for that bad call against Javi. Oh, yeah, possibly. But again, he's been calling pretty bad both ways. You do a great job. Thank you, Brent. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, Brent. This is what I do. Again, I call random games. This is my second Tigers game, though, John here being a Giants fan, again, he's always active in the chat, did try to get him in. The thumbnail's terrible. I kind of just take thumbnails off the internet, but couldn't find, because they don't play each other. But yeah, I try to get in random games when I can. I do appreciate it. On average, I do 2 to 4 games a week. That's the average. I think I'm already kind of ahead of that. And it's partly because, that was Sunday, that was yesterday, and this will be so I'm already at 4 once I complete tonight, but I am not going to be able to do any games, unfortunately, tomorrow, because I'll be working all day tomorrow, probably 14 plus hours. I hope I get home by midnight. We'll see. And then Thursday night, I'll be working, guaranteed, and there's no MLB games early. And then Friday I might be working in the evening. I'm not too sure on that, so we'll see. But I don't know. I like to get in another stream. Maybe there's a college baseball game I can do earlier in the day on Thursday or Friday. But yeah, I'm glad you like what you see. If anyone else likes what they see, hit that subscribe button. It helps the channel a lot. I will be doing football once football season is here. I will not be abandoning you baseball fans, because baseball fans are what's really getting the subscribers here. So obviously I recognize that you guys are pretty awesome and very supportive. So I'll be doing baseball every year. That's the goal. From pretty much late March to, I would say, beginning of October. I plan on doing wild card games. Here's the first pitch to Torres. That's going to be inside ball 1. And then after the wild card games, I'm going to let the big time baseball guys take it the rest of the way. And I'll be focused on NFL and college, that's going to be outside strike one. But I mean, I don't know if you guys think I should keep going, we'll see. We'll see what happens. That's going to be outside ball two. Football team, well, hey, Pittsburgh. Born in Pennsylvania. Despite being born in eastern Pennsylvania, that's going to be low, ball three. To Torres. I am a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Obviously, we've been mediocre for the last few years, but I did get to grow up in... Wait, hold on 1 second. There's an argument now. The Giants manager, Melvin, is in the umpire's face. They are still going at it. Something happened. I don't know if it was the call, but they are like right here and here. Very much in the intimate zone here as Giants manager is ticked. He has been ejected. So I think he's just frustrated with just the terrible calls. I mean, and rightfully so. I mean, he's this umpire has been horrible tonight. That's going to be inside ball four. Yeah, so Melvin has been tossed. He is done for the night. Why did Joey Bell changed his name to Albert? I don't know. Let's go ahead and Google that. All right, so runner on first. Here is the pitch to Keith. Why did... I saw the ejection coming based on the entire night. Yeah, I mean, the umpire has been pretty bad. All right, let's see. Hold on. Here's the 1-0. Ground ball to first. There's one. And two. A double play. A nice play by Schmidt to quickly throw to second, step on, and then get back on the bag to get the double play at first. All right, so Joey Bell changed his name to Albert Bell to signify a fresh start after entering a 10-week rehab program for alcohol addiction. He wanted to be known as Albert, his given first name, instead of his nickname Joey. Okay, interesting. That's cool. The name change was meant to symbolize a new beginning and commitment to recovery. Okay, I did not know that. Pretty cool. 1-0 count here to Green. It's a great question. Great question. Ball two. So this ump has been bad. Oh, no, he has been pretty bad for both teams. It's been inconsistent. Though I think he was mad as this one's going to be hit to left, and that's going to drop in fair territory down the left field line. Green is rounding first, heading to second. Looks like he's going to get on with a 2-out double. There was a pitch that the Giant had struck out on looking at the last inning. That was pretty far outside. And then on that bat he got ejected on, there's a pitch very similar to that location that was called a ball. And I think that's what initially started the yapping. And then there was a pitch low, just low on the knees. And I guess he lost it there, even though it was low. So, yeah, no, this umpire, if you guys follow the MLB scorecards thing on X, that's going to be a chopper to third, throws to first for out number 3. So the Tigers aren't able to do anything there, despite all the craziness. As we head to the top of the 6th, Tigers up 3-0. But he's probably going to get a really bad score. I mean, this is pretty bad. This is not a good performance by him. All right, it's been a while, so I'll go ahead and check what's happening across the major leagues. The Dodgers up 5-3 on the Indians. The Cardinals up 3-1 over the Orioles. The Tigers, while you're watching that, we're here. Phillies up 1-0 over the Braves. Twins up 2-0 over the Rays. Mets up 4-2 over the White Sox. Reds up 1-0 over the Royals. And the Red Sox Brewers 0-0. Man, I really need to get some more games in. I need to get Red Sox into flip. Yeah, that's honestly the only how I know him is the one where he like charged the second baseman. Yeah, that was pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. The only way I know him though is just based off of that. Yeah, Stremski, Ramos, and Flores are going to be due up here for the Giants. Oh, Brent, what's your football team? I'm sorry, I didn't ask you. I sense you're a Tigers fan, and I see the lion there. I'm going to safely assume Lions, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. You could be a Giants fan. You can just be a, who knows? I have, I'm just trying to put 2 and 2 together here, Lions, there we go. Okay. Lions, I actually just made my NFL predictions. I do have to make it the playoffs, obviously. As Yastrzemski is going to dig in here. I'll try to make a video on that soon. Probably going to do a mimic of another YouTuber, as that one's going to be low for ball 1. Poor quality, of course. Imitation. 1-0 count here to Yastrzemski. That's going to be foul tip, strike 1. Through the thick and thin. Yeah, no, you guys have definitely had, I don't know, my whole childhood and most of my adult life, you guys have been not so great. That's going to be in there, strike 2. Of course, you guys did have some playoff appearances when I was in high school with Stafford. I know the Cowboys game, I remember that one. You guys got screwed over a lot. 1-2 count to Yastrzemski, and that's going to be fouled off his foot. 1-2 count. Already in the 6th inning, and it's only an hour and a half, so this game has been just flying by. Might actually have a little bit of a break in between games. Of course, I say that. Now they're giving Yastrzemski plenty of time to recover here. So he's 1 for 1 with a walk, batting .260, OPS of 776. Here is the 1-2. That's outside, ball 2. No, I know you guys are bad. I'm trying to be nice. I actually did the first Tigers game, and I'll tell you about it. Hopefully you don't do the same thing. That's going to be outside, ball 3. And if you do, it is what it is. So the other day I did Tigers Cardinals, and I was chatting Draven. Draven's here's the 3-2. That's going to be hit to right. Looks like that's going to be caught by Carpenter for out number 1. But Draven, he's usually in here, especially for Pirates games. But I guess he was just chilling with me one day. We were just talking. I have no idea who Sheila, but he commented Matthew Stafford has a top 5 arm talent, and I'm an idiot because I think Stafford gets a lot of credit where I don't think he really should. That's going to be outside, ball 1. So I had made the comment, I should have just taken the comment at face value. Like, no, I agree. He does have a top 5 arm talent. Yeah, he's really good. His arm is. I just think that's going to be in there for strike 1. So I just kind of went on a little rant like, Stafford's like, no, Stafford was really that great. Probably would have won more in Detroit, and stuff like that. And the viewer count went from 10 down to 4. It cut it in half. I guess people just didn't like the fact that I had dissed Stafford. Stafford's all right. I just still think he just, I don't know. I just can't, because I don't know. I saw this post the other day, and here's the 2-1 to Ramos. That's going to be popped up. but the post was Stafford, Warner, and Ben. And it was like start, bench, and cut. To me, it's pretty obvious. You got to cut Stafford. Kurt, Hall of Famer. Ben will be a Hall of Famer. Stafford, to me, is a fringe Hall of Famer. Here's the 2-2. That's fouled back. I understand he has the stats, but I don't know. I mean, when you go like 4-12 a lot of years, you're going to be playing from behind. So I don't know. What's your take? Maybe I'm just a hater. But I don't know. I mean, here's the 2-2. That's going to be sent to shallow right field. Carpenter on the run and makes the catch for out number 2. I'm sure Lions fans do like Stafford. I get it. She's the owner now. She hired Chris Spielman to help her to design a great team. Oh, yeah, the Lions do have a great team. Definitely changed the culture there. I think Campbell is probably a little too aggressive. I think he listens to the analytics a little too much. But, I mean, that's the style that he has. But it's exciting. Here's the pitch, and that's going to be upstairs, strike 1. Again, we're kind of now seeing it was pretty 50-50 on these calls, but it is kind of leaning now Tigers' favor here. Spielman, one of the greatest linebackers ever. That's going to be outside ball, and to be honest, no idea. And I have Football Reference here, ready to go, just in case there's any football questions. I'm more of a football guy. That's going to be, here's the 1-1. That swung on a miss, strike 2. Wanted All-Pro, 2-time second-team All-Pro. Almost 200 tackles, of course. You know, they ran the ball a lot in the 90s and all that. Dang, yeah, no, pretty solid. Here's the 1-2. That swung on a miss. He struck him out. Flaherty looks to keep this shutout going as we head to the bottom of the 6th. As the Tigers still lead 3-0. This game is flying by. Again, if you like what you see, folks, hit that subscribe button. Definitely helps the channel out a lot. Do appreciate you guys. It's always fun interacting as this cat is not being good right now. In fact, it's being very bad. Might have to toss this cat. You're going to have to join Melvin here and get ejected. Of course, this door doesn't close, so she's able to push it. She's smart like that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you agree with the take, but yeah, I'm just not a. I don't know. Stafford's good. I just don't think he is great, if that makes any sense. But yeah, no, like my viewership cut in half, and I was not able to regain it for the rest of the stream when it was Tigers Cardinals. I'm like, gosh dang. When you call the games, are you watching the actual game or are you seeing what we see? No, I call the actual game. I'm watching the actual game. Wouldn't be as I don't know. I don't think I could fake the excitement. I mean, I guess I probably could, but that'd be fake, I feel like. So no, I do have MLB TV, and then of course I'll be doing the NFL Sunday Ticket again. That's how I get all the football games, and I have YouTube TV. I got to turn that off. I usually do, but my brother wanted me to watch college basketball, and actually it was pretty fun. Again, that's actually started some of the subscribers here. Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. I guess I'm calling it dry. As you see, yeah, it's 1-2, but on TV, no, there's nothing here. So they're cutting back here. Mid-pitch, that's strike 1. So, no, that is strike 1. Here is the 0-1. That's outside ball 1. So, yeah, no, you guys will probably always be ahead by a pitch. Stafford has a 7.5 out of 10. I mean, it's not bad. I don't think he's bad. Here's the 1-1. That's going to be inside ball 2. So, no, like, obviously, it's going to be a strike here. Don't look at that. That's just for y'all's visual appeal. Here's the 2-1. Oh, that's a strike. Who would have known? 2-2 count. So, yeah, Stafford, 7.5. I mean, assuming all time. I mean, I don't know. It'd be tough to rate like that. 2-2. That swung on a miss. He struck him out. So I'd really try to block that out. That way I get more of an authentic reaction. Trivia for you. What 2 days of the year are there guaranteed no professional games of any major league sport? Guaranteed no professional games of any sport. Here's the first pitch to Dingler. Dingler's going to pop this up to second. And caught by Fitzgerald for out number 2. That's a good question. What the heck? I have no idea. I've never... I mean, baseball starts in March. It can end in November. Here's the pitch to Sweeney. That's going to be chopped foul. Football off September to February. Basketball is October to like June. Hockey, same thing. Here's the 0-1. I have no idea. That's a great question. I have no idea, Sean. I need you to. I mean, I could look it up, but I don't know. I actually. You want me to look it up? I'll look it up. 0-2 count to Sweeney. He's not a 10, but he's definitely better than. Yeah, no. I mean, Stafford's for sure. He's better than average. I don't know. I just got triggered the fact that most people were saying, "Oh no, we got to cut Kurt or we got to cut Ben." That's going to be upstairs, ball 1. Webb, despite struggling earlier, was at 70 pitches through 103 pitches now in the 6. He has been moving really fast as that one's going to be popped up. Shortstop is under it and makes the catch for out number 3. So we ended the 7th here. Tigers up 3-0 over the Giants. The days before and after the MLB All-Star Game. Okay. February 30th and 31st. Nah, not quite. I was thinking December 32nd myself, but guess I was a little bit off there. Okay, I did not know that. That makes sense. Yeah, no, I mean, there's no basketball by then, no hockey. Though there might be some MLS. I don't know if you... I don't know. People don't really care about the MLS. I'm just saying. Yeah, and if you like what you see, folks, hit that subscribe button. This is what I do. I call random games. Today's game is Giants-Tigers. I will be doing Pirates-Diamondbacks once this game is over. I believe that one starts at 9:40 Eastern, 8:40 Central. So we look at other scores from around the major leagues. Dodgers up 5-3 over the Indians. The Orioles up 4-3 on the Cardinals. Phillies up 1-0 over the Braves. Twins 2-1 over the Rays. Mets 5-2 over the White Sox. Royals 2-1 over the Reds. 0-0, 0-0. A bunch of zeros in the rest of the games. Red Sox, Brewers, Cubs, Rockies, Blue Jays, Rangers, Astros, and Athletics. And sadly enough, I mean, well, not really sadly, I don't really care for the teams, but I won't be having any Astros or Rangers fans unless they're, football fans, because I can't do those because of MLB blackout. Soccer doesn't count. Oh, that's so tough. I love soccer, man, but, I understand it's not for everyone. Many years ago, and now I'm down to 220 because of the keto, which I'm almost done. I've lost 20. Well, I'm at 218. I've lost 22 pounds since the start of keto. Ending it June 1st, I'll be able to have pizza for the first time in a month or so. But here's the first pitch to Lee. That's strike 1, so I'm pretty happy with it. And, of course, I'm starting tennis back up soon, so I'll be playing tennis. So Tuesday nights, actually, I won't be able to call a game unless I'm off that day. That's going to be in there, strike 2. Won't be working any evenings for a good bit after after, I'd say a week and a half from now. That's going to be upstairs ball 1. So from, pretty much from June to like, I don't know. It's going to be a while before I work another evening. Everything will be pretty much like a standard 8 to 5. Here's the 1-2. Chopped to short. Throws to first for out number 1. It's actually third base. They're playing the shift. Baez was playing in that area. Nice to see Sean and Brent getting along there in the chat. Bringing people together, man. That's what I do as Mickey here, trying to ruin everything that I own. Here's the first pitch to Chapman. That's going to be in there, a called strike. Yeah. Stupid phone. YW. I don't know the slang, man. I'm young, but I don't know what that means. That's going to be outside ball 1. What is YW? I feel like I've seen that before. Let me actually look that up. I don't know what slang is or short text. Here's the 1-1. That's going to be fouled back. I'm looking this up. You're welcome. Okay. That makes sense. I don't know, man. I'm old and young at the same time. 1-2 count. That's going to be hit foul. One and two count. Tigers leading 3-0 here in the top of the 7th inning. Quick moving game. No, my bad, Brent. I looked it up. Here's the 1-2. That's outside ball 2. Lee taking over for Flaherty. Looking to keep the Giants off the board. Flaherty had been pitching well, but I guess that's just the way things are. You got to replace him because whatever reason. Herder is warming up in the Tigers bullpen. Lee delivers. Ground ball to second. Throws to first for out number 2. Giants looking, you're 64. I think I got you by a few. Yeah, you might actually. You may actually have me by a few. So you've definitely seen a lot of Lions then. Oof. My dad, myself, he's 54. We'll be turning 55 this year. Raised maybe a Steeler fan, so you were, I guess, you're born in 60, which I don't know. Were the Lions still good in the 60s? I don't know. That's going to be in there, a called strike. Lions. I know they were good in like the 40s and 50s. They had Bobby Lane. Of course, he came to the Steelers after or Buddy Parker. That's going to be a blooper to right, and that's going to get on he's going to get on for a base hit there. You're always stumping the doctor. Yeah, no, when it comes to 80s baseball, I'm cooked. 90s baseball, I'm cooked. 2000s baseball, I can answer a little bit there. Even 2010s, I'm still like not the most knowledgeable guy when it comes to baseball. Football, though, I feel like I can go toe-to-toe with anyone there. Here's the first pitch. The fly ball to right, and Carpenter didn't have to move much as he makes the catch for out number 3. So we head to the bottom of the 7th. Tigers still up 3-0. Sanders days were the best. I bet. Must have been pretty cool to see him watch him play live. Like I can only I don't know if you know about the YouTube channel NFL Throwback. So I like watching a lot of the older games. I say older as in like 90s, 2000s. So that's my old. Not to make you guys feel any older than you are, but yeah, I love watching those games, and yeah, I got to see Barry through that, and it's pretty neat. He was very impressive. Lions were great in the late 50s. I see. I'm assuming that was the Bobby Lane. I don't know. When did Bobby Lane come to the Steelers? I know Buddy Parker went to the Steelers in 57. Oh, I'm looking on the wrong thing here. Bobby Lane. Of course, we did have an older version of Bobby Lane. Yeah, they were pretty good in the 50s. Then he went to Pittsburgh in 58. Steelers became a pretty decent team with him and Buddy Parker, and then Parker just got sick and tired of second place, and he retired, and the Steelers were garbage for a few years before Chuck Noll came. After 61, the Lions went downhill. Oof. That is rough. But at least you guys are competing now. I'm sure that's fun. All right, we're here in the bottom of the 7th. Javier Baez is going to lead off here in the bottom of the 7th. Actually, I'm kind of curious here. Not to bring up bad memories, but I'm just curious. Yeah, still winning NFL championships. I have all these ads. My wife tells me I need to get an ad blocker. Here's the first pitch to Baez. That's going to be in there, strike one. We have a new pitcher for the Giants. It's going to be Beck. Yeah, didn't really do much. Looking at the Lions. Yeah, you guys can be called the Pirates. Here's the 0-1. That's fouled off. Strike two. Went to a few quite a bit of playoff games in the 90s. Fortunately, weren't able to win much. And then, of course, the 2000s, Stafford. Then recently. Here's the 0-2. That's going to be outside ball one. Don't think you missed a game when Barry played. We are very blessed to have what we have now with the Lions. Yeah, maybe the Lions become this is the type of, hold on, it's a hit up the middle. Second baseman's there, throws to first, and gets him by a step for out number one. But I don't know, just this nice run could, change the fortunes of the Lions franchise that has been pretty bad for most of my life. I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to think. I mean, really, if you're like an NFL cornerstone, you'll still be pretty relevant. Maybe not the Giants. Giants are pretty bad now. They've been bad for a whole decade. As that's going to be in there, strike one. I'm trying to think here. Like a team that was so good, was not good and then became really good and then stayed being good. I don't know. I mean the Steelers, but then they were kind of a cornerstone. That's going to be inside ball one. Bills, no. Yeah, well, I don't know. The Chiefs, maybe? I don't know. Chiefs were always okay. That's going to be hit to left. Ramos is under it and makes the catch for out number two. Jets fan. Love to see what the Lions have now. Yeah, the Jets. That's tough. We'll see you week one, hopefully, Sean. Steelers, Jets. Despite what happens with Rodgers, I think it'd be pretty cool if Rodgers went to Steelers to have both quarterbacks switch teams like that. Here's the pitch. That's going to be low, ball one. I'm sure Brent is not a fan of Rodgers because of the Packers. That's going to be outside ball two. Rodgers and Favre. Yeah, that's got to, I feel like I'm probably talking about things I probably shouldn't. Just with the Lions, the Packers obviously getting back-to-back franchise quarterbacks. That's going to be in there. Call strike. Jordan Love looks pretty good. I like Jordan Love much better than what we have in Pittsburgh. The Vikings, I don't know. I mean, they haven't really. Here's the 2-1. That's low ball three. Three-one count. Yeah, I can't think of like a franchise quarterback for the Vikings in the last few years, 20 years or so. Here's the 3-1. In there, strike two. Bears, yeah, they've just also been a revolving door. NFC North, really, or the NFC Central, has You knew it for a long time there, Brent. I don't know. It's really been. That's going to be outside. Strike 3 again. Kind of just the calls by this umpire. Not very good. So we're going to head to the top of the 8th. Your score is still 3-0, and it's not surprising when the strike zone is just so wide and tall and low. Warren Moon, I think of him as an Oiler. Cunningham, I think of him as an Eagle. I don't know. I mean, I could look it up. Maybe I'm wrong. I think of Warren Moon as like an Oiler, though. Houston, yeah, he's just mostly there and is like from age 28 to 37. He was there for a little bit, but I don't know. I wouldn't consider him a Viking. I know he was there. I mean, he was the quarterback in 98, or was that Cunningham? That was probably Cunningham. That legendary 98 offense that's brought up a lot. Yeah, I think of Cunningham as an Eagle, just mostly there. In the 98, they had that really good game, or really good season. I don't know, the Vikings, I mean, Fran Tarkenton, I know. I mean, he's the obvious one, but like in the recent last 20, 25 years, I mean, they've kind of swung and missed on a lot of quarterbacks. How's the game been shopping? This game has been the umpire show, with the umpire just calling whatever he wants a strike. The Giants manager's already been tossed. Of course, thank you for stopping by, Draven, as always. And, of course, I'll be doing in about an hour or so, which looks like I'm going to have a little bit of a break because I thought this game might be a pretty good one. Thought it would be going to the 3-hour mark, but we are not even at the 2-hour mark, and we're already at the top of the 8th. Vikings, yeah, I can't think of it. Of course, the Bears, again, they had Cutler in the 2010s, Fields. You know, last few years he wasn't that great. Rex Grossman in the 2000s, that's going to be in there, a called strike. Yeah, Vikings have just been kind of a revolving door. They had Brad Johnson in the 2000s for a little bit. Tavares Jackson, 01. That's going to be in there, strike 2. Brett Favre for that year or two. Christian Ponder, he didn't work out. Then they had Kirk Cousins. Yeah, no. I mean, honestly, NFC North hasn't really had many great quarterbacks in the last few decades other than the Packers. Packers have been blessed with who they've had. Very quickly, 0-2 count to Bailey. Of course, again, if you're just a Detroit fan right now, you're just like, why am I talking? Here's the 0-2. That's going to be hit to left, and that's going to get down for a base hit. So Bailey gets on here with the leadoff single in the top of the 8th as the Giants look to get something going here. Of course, this will allow me, if the game ends early, to grab a little bit something to eat. I haven't really eaten all day. Here's the first pitch, as that one's going to be fouled back. So I guess that's not too bad. And if you are a baseball fan, just in general, I'll be back on for Pirates D-backs. So if you want to see the high-powered offense, of course I'm referring to the Pittsburgh Pirates, not the Diamondbacks, feel free to tune in, as that one's going to be fouled back. Yeah, we like seeing high-powered offenses. That's why I cover the Pirates as much as I do. Oh, 2 count to Fitzgerald. But if not, it's okay. Hey, you enjoy your evening. I do appreciate everyone that has subscribed today. Kathy and Brent, again, thank you. Hopefully I'll see you guys in the near future. Of course, Kathy, I got to get you an Indians game, so I don't know if you're still here, but I'll try to get you an Indians game in the near future. Here's the 1-2. That's outside ball 2. Saturday morning, I do work at 10. I don't know how long that shift will be, as there's a ground ball to short. There's 1 and 2. A double play. So the Giants, after they lead off with the single, ground into a double play, and that's going to bring up Yastrzemski. Giants have a high-powered offense, too. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they are a little bit underwhelming tonight. They definitely took the Pirates' 5-0 loss to heart, as that one's going to be outside ball one. 1-0 count to Yastrzemski. Here's the pitch. That's outside ball two. Lee is still out there, pitching in his second inning of work. Here's the 2-0. That swung a miss, strike one. Aaron Glenn will be a very good coach for the Jets. He definitely was a very sought after by many teams. It's pretty solid players. There's going to be a ground ball foul. Solid player. He played. I know he played for the Jets and the Texans. Probably played for other teams. And of course, he was the defensive coordinator for the Lions. 2-2 count. Here's the pitch. That swung on a missed. Yastrzemski shows his frustration, throwing the bat and throwing the helmet. As we head to the bottom of the 8th inning, your score, Tigers 3, Giants 0. The only problem, though, and no offense, Sean, but it's the Jets. So that's the problem. I do not have the Jets doing much this year, looking at my predictions now. I don't know, Sean, how do you think? I like the Mets corner, too. Yeah, very solid corner. I mean, you're the Jets fan, Sean. How do you expect the Jets to do this year with Justin Fields as your quarterback? Did a great job for the Lions with all the injuries we had. Yeah. That's going to be tough for the Lions, too, losing both of their coordinators, offense and defense. So, I mean, the Lions could take a little bit of a step back this year. Not wishing that or anything. It's just possible. 4-12. I'm going to assume it's either 4-13 or 5-12. As unfortunately, I wish it was 16 games. I love the 16-game format. Felt perfect. 16 was a perfect number. I always said that the fish rots from the head down. Ownership is everything. Ownership is everything. And ever since Mr. Dan Rooney has passed away in Pittsburgh, Art Rooney Jr.'s son, or Art Rooney Jr., I think that's, or is he the second? I don't know. Whatever. I'm sorry. I know it's kind of mean, but Art Rooney is disgracing his family's name. Like, Art Rooney was a great owner, obviously. You know, he was an owner for many years for the Steelers, passed away in the 80s. Won 4 Super Bowls. He wanted to be a winner, and he got to see that happen. Then Dan takes over the team and does very well. He did his father proud. I know Art Rooney was probably very, very happy with how Dan did it. Art Rooney Jr. is a bum, as that one's going to be a line drive to second, and Fitzgerald makes a great catch for out number one. Now, I can't stand Art Rooney Jr. He is such a embarrassment to the Steelers. But now I completely agree, Brent. That is 100% accurate. I hope. I mean, it'd be horrible, but I'd want for Art Jr. to sell the team or just give up control, because he is disgracing the Rooney name. So that's going to be a ground ball foul. Might seem pretty harsh, but that's my honest opinion. Honest opinion. He has turned the Steelers into a joke. 0-1 count here to Green. Sorry, completely random, I know. Might have to make a clip of that. Here's the 0-1. That swung on a miss, strike two. Tigers leading 3-0 here in the bottom of the 8th. Giants have been able to just get 4 hits. Doesn't look like we'll see a bottom of the 8th, as this game is just now hitting 2 hours, and that's going to be outside ball 1. This probably will be the quickest game I think I've done so far for the baseball season. Here is the 1-2. That's one I missed. He struck him out. So a 2 down here in the bottom of the 8th. That's going to bring up Torkelson. He's 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. After scoring 3 runs earlier, I mean, one in the first, one in the second, one in the third. It's been zeros the rest of the way. Here's the first pitch. That's going to be in there for a called strike. Five and 12. Yeah, no, I have the Jets actually going 5-12 as well. So I kind of spoiled the Jets record in that video. I'll eventually do, as that's one I missed. Strike 2. It was a more dismal offense, the Giants or the Buccos? Oh, it's definitely the Pirates. I mean, can't even compare. I know you're probably going to be a little more pessimistic about your team. Most fans are. The more real ones are. Here's the 0-2. That's going to be outside ball 1. Real fans can call out their team. You know, that's... I mean, look at the Giants. 238. Look at that. I mean, that's... What would the Pirates would be around 500 if they had the Giants offense. Here's the 1-2. That swung on and missed. He struck him out. So we head to the top of the 9th. The Giants' last chance for a victory. They'll just have 3 outs to do it. But yeah, look at the Pirates. Only 164 runs. I mean, that is just terrible. That is just pathetic. Giants, I mean, they're not doing too bad. Probably as of late. They're probably about league average, if I had to guess, looking at all the rest of the numbers here. I don't know if I can sort it by runs scored. Yeah, I can't. Again, if you like what you see, folks, hit that subscribe button. It definitely helps the channel a lot. Doing Giants-Tigers today. This is my 2nd game of the Tigers, 3rd game of the Giants. And, of course, if you're a fan of these teams, just let me know about it. Be pretty consistent in the chat, and I'll try to work you in. Of course, Brent here chatting away. I'll try to get a Tigers game. Kathy earlier asked if she, if I do Indians games, which I've only done 1, but I will try to make that happen. As she subscribed, so I'll definitely try to make that happen for Kathy. And of course, I'll be doing another baseball game tonight. So if you're just strictly a baseball fan, come back for Diamondbacks Pirates. You get to see the high-powered offense of the Pittsburgh Pirates take on an actual high-powered offense, the Diamondbacks. So there'll probably be home runs in that one. Probably not by the jersey that I'm wearing, though. I guess I can't believe I only have 4 hits tonight. Yeah, it's a little frustrating. I can imagine that. Brent very happy about the Tigers as they look to move to 36-20 on the year. Giants most likely fall to 31-23. Again, I do appreciate everyone for stopping by as we're slowly making our way back. Here is the first pitch to Ramos. That's going to be low for ball 1. 1-0 count. Here's the pitch. That's going to be in there. Strike 1. 1-1 count. Vest is in there for the Tigers as they try to close it down here in the 9th. Here's the 1-1. That's going to be fouled. Strike 2. Fest with an ERA of 1.44, so definitely a solid arm out of the pen this year. Ramos batting .277, OPS of .806. And that's going to be outside ball 2. 2-2 count to Ramos. Fest delivers. That's going to be a ground ball to short. That's going to get past the diving shortstop as the Giants looking to do something here in the top of the ninth with the leadoff base runner. And that's going to bring up Flores, who just missed a home run in the first inning. He's 0 for 3 on the night with 2 strikeouts. Vest is leading in saves. I can see it. You know, they have a lot of wins, and his ERA is pretty solid. Vest delivers. That one's going to be hit to left, and that is just foul. 0-1 count. Let me actually look, see how many saves he has. He has 6 saves. I don't know if he has the most saves. I mean, I don't know how the rest of the league's doing. Definitely has really solid ERA, though. Here's the 0-1, and this one's going to be hit to left. And that's going to get down to the gap. Perez there, still trying to find it. Ramos is rounding third, heading for home, and he's going to score. So the Giants get their first run of the game here in the top of the ninth as they find themselves down only 3-1 now. A long strike doctor score prediction for tonight's game. Diamondbacks 13, Pirates 0. 13-0. No, probably 7-2 realistically. I mean, Diamondbacks will most likely win. All right, in steps in Lee. Here's the first pitch. That's right down the middle, strike 1. Lee is 0 for 2 on the night and was hit by a pitch. Sean pretty happy about that. Brent obviously feeling the opposite of that as he says crap. Here is the 0-1. That's one I missed in the dirt. Strike 2 as Lee just, I guess, feeling pretty swing happy here. 0-2 count. Runner on second. Here is the 0-2. That's in the dirt. Ball 1. 1-2 count to Lee. Giants all of a sudden coming to life here. But was it a little too late? Here's the 1-2. That's high for ball 2. Chapman is on deck. 2-2 count. Vest sets and delivers. That's going to be sent to left. Shallow left on the run is Green, who makes a sliding catch, who quickly tosses it in for out number 1. So a nice effort there by Green. Gets the first out here in the top of the ninth. And that's going to bring up Chapman. That 215 OPS of, my voice is, I got to train it. I got to train the voice. OPS of 729. And we have a little mound visit here as they're going to game plan with Chapman at the plate. Batting .215 on the year, OPS of 729. I would say those are a little bit down. Last year hit 27 home runs, OPS of 791. So, I don't know, maybe it is in line with what he's been doing the last few years. Here's the first pitch. That's going to be in there. Strike 1. Chapman is batting .215. He's the 5th hitter. That is lowly. It is a shockingly low. Here is the 0-1. That's in the dirt. Ball 1. Chapman would probably fit in with the Pirates lineup with .215. Of course, his OPS being above 700 would be like too good for the Pirates. 1-1 counts. Runner on first. 1 out. That's outside for ball 2. Anyone with a bat? I'm a little lost, Brent. I'm sorry. Here's the 2-1. That's going to be up there. Ball 3 is Vest. Looking a little bit wild here. His balls aren't really close. That one was in the dirt. That one was high. 3-1 count. Here's the pitch. This one's going to be popped up. First base side. First baseman Torkelson is under it and makes the catch for out number 2. So just like that, we're down to the last out. And that's going to bring up Willy Adames, who is batting .211 on the year, OPS of 627. But he is 2 for 3 in this one, as the Tigers will rise and stand. Oh, anyone with the bat can do the job. Yes, that is true. Baseball, any given pitch, any given day, as that's going to be in there. A called strike. Oh, 1 count. The Tigers fans stand and cheer, rallying behind Vest. Here is the 0-1. That swung on a missed. Strike 2 on a ball upstairs. Tigers fans, they're loud. They're cheering. That guy had really yellow teeth. They should really zoomed in on his teeth for some reason there as the guy was cheering. 0-2 count. Here's the pitch. That is in the dirt. Ball 1. 1-2 count. One and two count. Vest sets and delivers. Swing and a miss. He struck him out on the foul tip. So the Tigers win today 3-1. I believe that was the score yesterday for these two teams. Let me go ahead and look at that real quick. Yes, it was. So just a repeat of yesterday's game, the Tigers winning 3-1. Great job at saying what's going on. I appreciate you. Hey, I try, man. I really do. Thank you for stopping by, Brent. Thank you. I'll hopefully see you in other videos as well. I'll definitely keep the Tigers in mind. But that's pretty much going to do it for me for this one. I will see, hopefully, I'll see some of you guys later. If not, that's okay. You guys are allowed to do whatever you want. But yeah, I'll be back on in about 40 or so minutes with Pirates, Diamondbacks. And again, if you like what you saw, hit that subscribe button. Definitely helps the channel a lot and helps me out a lot. I really appreciate you guys. And I will see you later. You guys have a great night. Peace.